You thought I fell off? You're smoking something.
Hello and welcome to Sports Tips Vids UK, or Sports Tips Vids. My name is Marcus J. RIchardson and this
is Adam Thorn.
Thank you for joining us on this windy evening in the autumn in the UK. A couple of big fights coming up this weekend. Adam's going to go through them for us. Adam, talk to us.
Hello, there's some fights this weekend. I'm going to talk about them. Which ones would you like me to start with?
Let's go with Crolla.
Anthony Crolla versus Ricky Burns. The Battle of Britain, I believe it's being sold as.
Is it? Is it really being sold as a Battle of Britain?
It's genuinely being sold as something that cheesy with their face. One of them's got this face painted England flag. The other one looks like Braveheart. I'm guessing Ricky Burns, given that he's from Glasgow. Anyway, it's a super lightweight fight. Anthony Crolla's coming off the back of 2 losses to Jorge Linares.
He lost twice to him, didn't he?
Twice in a row. Both valiant efforts. I mean, Linares is a top guy. Beat Kevin Mitchell. Beat Crolla twice. Now he's beaten Luke Campbell last weekend. So he's beaten 4 of Britain's top lightweights. Potentially he's ruined an entire generation of English lightweights.
A generation that was a lot of hope for. So, I mean, is this weekend going to be a good weekend for Britain in terms of that fight? Is it going to be a decent fight, or are they going to cancel each other out?
Look at it this way. I think it's going to be a decent fight on the night. Yes, I think both of them are going to come.
I beg your pardon?
They're both going to come into the ring. Whatever. It's going to be a decent fight.
So it's going to be
a decent fight. Look, it's what they call a crossroads fight. I mean, Crolla's only 30, but he had a bit of a rocky start to his career, and then I think he won most improved. He was getting all these plaudits for being most improved fighter in the UK. And Ricky Burns has been at the top or near the top for donkey's years, last 7 or 8 years at least.
When was the last time you were donkey's years, folks? Carry on.
Donkey's years ago.
No, I'm with you on donkey's years, but
anyway, Ricky Burns and he's been at sort of super lightweight, light welter, and he's been up and down a little bit depending on what he's been trying to win. And he's one of those guys where he peaks and then he has a little dip, and then he peaks again and he has a little dip. And I just think this weekend, a bit like Derry Matthews did, he just kept going, and he just ran into someone that was younger and it was too much.
Last chance saloon?
I think so for both. Not as much for Crolla, but certainly for Burns. But I think Crolla's going to take it.
Ooh, so this could be the end of the road for Ricky Burns, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Adam has just said. End of his career ender.
I just said it would be hard to. Yeah.
End of his career. Adam Thorn. You heard it here first.
Sorry, Ricky. He seems like a really nice bloke.
Well, this is life, though. Isn't
Crolla
it,
also very nice bloke. Obviously, very brave guy. Stood up to the burglars and had a paving slab crashed into his head.
Ouch. Would you say for Crolla, if he wins this weekend, then it could be the catalyst for a comeback?
He'll be going at another world title, like kind of cast iron. That's what these guys will be looking for, whoever wins, and I think that's going to be Crolla. Okay,
next fight on the agenda. Let's talk about Eubank Jr. It's going to be a pretty simple one from this weekend, is it not?
They're all tough guys in the World Boxing Super Series. This is the second super middleweight quarterfinal.
The World Boxing Super Series!
I know, it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, does it? It's a little bit long.
Well, I don't know, that kind of rolled.
Yeah, all right, fine. World Boxing Super Series, quarterfinal number 2, super middleweights. He's facing
Avni
Yildirim from Turkey.
Avni got the power. Has he got the power? That's the question.
He's got 16 wins, no losses, no draws, 10 knockout.
I tell you what he has got. A crazy trainer.
I knew you were going to say that. Yes. I mean, can we say it on this?
Can we play a bit?
Look it up. Yeah.
We'll put a link. We'll put a link below. You've got to look at the press conference.
It's a press conference meltdown of epic proportion. You know, a lot of people will understand why people get frustrated with the Eubanks.
I tell you what I liked about Avni got any power. He did not react at all, so he's used to this shit. Do you know what I mean?
He's obviously used to his manager being a bit of a nut
what was the line he said to the guy in the end? Which is it's worth waiting for.
Something
I'll fuck your wife
in your bed.
In your bed, which is brilliant.
It was
sorry about the accent there.
Yeah, he's Scottish. Yildirim, from what I've seen of him, he's very straightforward. He stands in the pocket. He's stocky. He plods forward. He throws his punches. He doesn't try to get out of the way. Chris Eubank, he was in the gym in Mayweather's gym when we were there in the summer with Hellraiser.
What's he like as a bloke?
Do you know what? He's just very quiet, and I think people take that as him being aloof. But he's just quiet. His dad does the talking, so he doesn't need to. And I can assure you, his dad's
his dad again? Sorry to digress, but when has anyone ever got rid of a lisp? Like Chris Eubank doesn't have a lisp anymore.
Oh no, he still does.
Wow, he doesn't have the lisp. He's not like that anymore. Let's be honest.
I think that may have been played up quite a lot by Spitting Image, but
oh come on, you look back to videos of Chris Eubank Senior or Senior in the 90s, mate, and he's very much like, I mean, I'm not great at Chris Eubank impressions, but anyway, we've digressed. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, I think it'd be great to hear in the comments what you think about Lispgate or Liftgate or whatever you want to call it.
Liftgate. Should we talk about some boxing?
Let's go back to the boxing. So, who are we on? We're on Chris Eubank Jr.
Chris Eubank Jr.
He's a nice guy, apparently. No, he's not a nice guy.
He's just very quiet. I mean, the other guys, our boxers got on with him. I didn't speak to him. I'm not there to interview him. I wasn't there to interrupt his training.
Yeah, but
I'm not there to interrupt his training. What I can tell you is I saw him training. So even at the start of his training camp, he is someone who is able to adapt, go through the gears, go up, and he's sparring someone, and they raise their game, and he just raises it 2 levels, just like that. I mean, I've watched a lot of boxing and seen a lot of sparring, and that impressed me.
He's not unbeaten, though.
He's not unbeaten, but he ran into Billy Joe Saunders a little bit too early, I think. He did come on strong at the end of that fight, as we talked about last week, and I just think that Eubank's going to have way too much for this guy. Unless this guy's got...
But where's Eubank going, though? I mean, he's fighting it's not a nobody, but he's fighting somebody who... It's an expected win, you know. I mean, what's this leading up to? Where does he go next after this?
I think he's a good shout, an outside bet of winning this tournament. I think,
really?
And we're going to talk about it next week, I think he'll end up facing one of the winner of Groves versus Cox.
Talk to me a little bit about this World Boxing Series, though. So let's say, hypothetically, he meets Groves in the semi-finals, who's obviously world champion, and he wins. Does he get the world championship belt?
Yes. Yeah, they're all for the belt. So all the belts. So he's got a belt as well. He's got the IBO belt.
So it would unify those titles then, basically?
It would, yeah. There'd be unifications. And
so then what do you get in the final? What's the whole point of this tournament?
You get the Muhammad Ali trophy.
Right, but you can't wear that, or can you wear it?
Rather cynically named, I have to say.
Can you wear it?
I don't know.
Could you get one of those, like...
You might be able to balance it on your head.
Or one of those front baby things that you carry and carry it in there on the way to the ring?
Yeah, just put it in the toilet. I mean...
And can you lose that? When do you lose that? The following year, or...?
I don't know, actually. That hasn't really been discussed. I don't know if you keep that forever, or if they have one every year. I mean, this tournament's going to take...
We need the facts, Adam.
Well, the thing is, we don't know, as the organisers have not divulged when the next dates of the fights are going to be, because they don't know who's going to get injured, what's going to happen. I mean, they've got standbys for each fight.
So when is the final supposed to be by then?
I think it's the end of next year. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So it's just 3 fights.
So you've got a quarterfinal this weekend. You've got a quarterfinal next weekend. When are the other 2 quarterfinals?
Well, we had one the other week with Callum Smith.
Okay.
Outpointing Eric Skoglund, which I got correct.
To be fair, you did get that one right. Old Skoggy wasn't good enough.
But I was right in saying that I thought that Callum Smith might struggle a little bit, and he did.
We think that Eubank's going to win this weekend.
I think Eubank will just switch it up. I don't know if he's going to have the power to stop him, although I think Eubank's got underrated power and Yildirim's got overrated power. I think Yildirim's just going to stand there, keep coming forward, a bit like Arthur Abraham did against Chris Eubank Jr. when he won the title, and he's just going to pick his shots and outscore him wide.
So easy win then. Before we get on to Robin Dupree, what's the other one that's this weekend, the other big fight?
The big fight at York Hall, live on Channel 5.
Live on Channel 5, ladies and gentlemen. Channel 5. We've actually got some Hellraiser fights happening that weekend as well.
We have got some Hellraiser fights, yeah. We've been working with Cyclone.
But talk to us, who's the big fight?
The big fight is Andrew Superstar Selby, Lee Selby's younger brother, and he's fighting Maximino Flores, who is a Mexican guy, got a respectable record. This is the first time he's fought outside of... Well, he's fought once in 30-something fights. He's fought once outside of Mexico, and that was in the Philippines. This is the first time.
How did he get on in that fight?
He lost it. Lost twice in Mexico and twice by knockout.
But he has won some fights, so he's not a complete walkover, is it?
So Maximino Flores, he's 23-3, so he has won some fights, yes. They were all in Mexico, so it's difficult to judge the quality of them. It's a flyweight fight. There aren't loads of flyweight fighters in the world, obviously, because it's such a lightweight. WBC title eliminator, Dago Niga, the champion, he's only had 13 fights. He's won all 13 by knockout at flyweight.
Wow.
A lot of the Japanese fighters are at the lower weights, and they are champions. I mean, you've got Inuoke, you've got Niga, you've got one of the other flyweight champion whose name I forget.
So anyway, let's crack on with that one.
So Andrew Selby, he's only had 9 fights. He's got 5 knockouts, very respectable for a flyweight. He's incredibly, he's a Team GB star, incredibly talented, wonderful shot selection, fast hands, moves in and out of range very quickly, and he's got a wonderful defence. It's almost like a cocky defence. He almost drops his shoulders and just kind of rolls with the punches. It's just his reflexes are incredible. He's a really, really exciting boxer, and I'm pretty sure the McGuigans are, massively proud of having him, and that's why they've brought him to York Hall, to England, because he's Welsh, don't forget.
Is he going to win this weekend?
Yes. Yeah, and I think he's going to look very good. Channel 5, Live on 5, that's why they've
Channel 5, Live on 5.
He's been brought here to look good and to build a name for himself, I'm sure of it.
Okay,
and I think he'll
so
knock him
let's talk betting a little bit then. Adam, you've got an ACCA for us. Tell us who we've already mentioned that is included, and then we'll go on to the final one.
We've already mentioned Crolla, Anthony Crolla. He's an underdog slightly in the fight, so it gives you reasonable odds.
So outright win with him?
Outright winner, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. And next?
We haven't talked about Robin Dupree. He's fighting for the Cruiserweight Commonwealth title on the same billing as the Selby fight in York Hall.
That fight, obviously he's actually the underdog in that fight, isn't he?
He is the underdog, Robin, but look, he is in spectacular shape. He is unbeaten. The 2 unbeaten guys. He's got a good pedigree of boxing. He's a very competent boxer, and I just fancy him to.
What about his little superstition he's got, where he just goes over and touches the rope? What's that about? I mean, is that going to get in his way against a fight like this?
Tick that he's got. I did ask him about it, and he just said, "I just have to deal with it, won't I?" It's just pragmatic.
But do you think the guys coming up against on Saturday is going to be aware of this, and maybe try and take advantage of it and catch him out when he's doing it?
I don't think Robin's going to do it. I'm going to be honest with you. And look, Robin's got a lot of reasons to win this fight. I'm not going to go into too many details. He's got a lot of reasons to win this fight, and he's really fired up. I met him. Yes, he was in the office yesterday. I really fancy him to outbox and frustrate a guy who's going to come at him and try to land power.
So
shots.
how's he going to win outright?
Outright on points.
Okay, and the third one
the third one that we haven't covered is Sam Eggington, who is.
Sam Eggington's fighting this weekend, big one.
He's fighting for the EBU European title on the Crolla card. I think he might be chief support. He's fighting Mehmet Mamoun from, I think he's a French guy. Mamoun's lost twice. He's never been knocked out, but he's got 2 knockouts, 18 wins and 2 knockouts. And I just think Eggington, since he lost to Bradley Skeet 5 fights ago, he's won all 4 of his fights by knockout, and he's beaten some good guys.
So how do you think he's going to win this weekend?
I think he's going to knock him out.
So you reckon he's going to knock out a guy that's not been knocked out yet?
I do. I don't think Mamoun is going to have the power to keep Eggington off him. Eggington's got long arms,
fair enough.
good leverage.
What would you whack on it, Adam, to be on the safe side, or
put a fiver? Fiver gets you nearly 45 quid back.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Not bad odds.
Don't go mad.
So that is Dupree and Crolla outright wins, and Sam Eggington with a DQ, a TKO, or a KO victory. Next we've got another video coming because there's a big Hellraiser weekend, so we're going to do a quick review for that and also mention the George Groves fight. Adam, anything you want to say to the people back home?
Enjoy your boxing. Happy betting.
Exactly. Just bet safe, guys. Don't be idiots when the fun stops.